Hello, welcome back to Crystal Clear Coaching. You're here with Crystal Tottenham. Here on this channel, we like to tune into ourselves. I help hold space for you to tune into you, often through using examples of how I've been tuning into me. It is so important. We are the most important person in our lives, for our life, and don't forget it. Don't you forget it. You put yourself first, won't you? You have hopes and dreams that hopefully you're actively working towards and embracing and loving. Or you might have them that you dare not even admit it to yourself that those are your hopes and dreams, because what if you get rejected? What if that doesn't work out for you? What if? And my friend, that's no way to spend your life. You have something on your soul, on your heart, that you want to do in your life. And you got to stand up for it. You got to show up for it. And again, I am never coming from some high horse over here. She's human and she's figuring it out as she goes, and she's really good at procrastinating, and she has been putting off certain hopes and dreams for a long time, like no joke. But also, she will stand up for you when you're not standing up for yourself. So if you're not standing up for yourself in ways that you need to have discipline for yourself, to show up for those dreams, to actually make them happen, even if it's in the smallest way possible, at least it's still moving forward. That's what I'm here for. I want you to show up for what's important to you, what's on your heart and soul, what gift you have to give to the world. Even if that gift to the world is just you lighting yourself up for your own damn life. If everyone was doing that, the world would be such a different place in a beautiful way, So, and the world don't be feeling so great lately. Let's not get into that right now. We all know. But you are the most wonderful person to show up for you in your own life. So, how are you going to do it? Is there an action you can take today in order to do that? What does that mean to you? And if you're one of those sneaky little systems, if you're one of those people with sneaky little systems, subconscious systems, energetic systems that are working against you, and you're self-sabotaging frequently from those hopes and dreams, / you don't even feel they're survivable, thus permissible to your system in order to show up and achieve and create for yourself in your life, and thus for the world, then I invite you, one of my favorite things to invite you to do is to step into curiosity. Just be curious. Why might that be? If it feels too serious to take it on, the idea that, even looking at it just feels too scary, well, just consider it was one of your best mates that's like you, but not you, a similar kind of circumstance, similar kind of life path, and they're one of your favorite people in the world. What if it was happening to them? Can you see it through that lens, just to dissociate it from yourself and just see it from a more of a bird-eyes view as to what is going on for you, or what's not going on, what's in the way, what is in the way. If we don't learn to clear the way and figure out what is our blocks, I don't know, something crazy like 95% of our patterns come from subconscious thoughts, so we're not even actively thinking them. It's all programming. from whatever we experience in our past, which sometimes might be serving us really well. If you're really unconsciously competent at something, then it's really serving you. Like things like driving. Once you've done it for a while, you tend to get unconsciously competent. Thus, you can have half an hour of driving pass by, and you're like, I don't even remember driving from there to there, and that kind of sounds scary and bad, but it's just because your subconscious was running the show. It was so ingrained, and also your conscious mind would snap to in any given moment that was needed if there was anything that was immediately needing the attention. But basically, yeah, if our subconscious programs aren't working for us, we're unconsciously incompetent at something, then unless we bring it to conscious light and figure out what those blocks are and how to take action through them in ways that will feel really uncomfortable to our system. But the more we take those uncomfortable actions, the more that we will prove to our systems that they are survivable. We're going to have to consciously kind of hack through that block first, though. So if we can be curious enough to look at it, even if you're dissociating and having it be through someone else's lens, a lens of someone like you that you absolutely love and adore and want the best for. Even if you can just do that, look at it with curiosity. Why might that block be in the way, or what is in the way in the first place? What might this person lose that they value now if they were to have the thing that they desire? That's a question and a half, that one. It's a good one. Like, that will tell you what your blocks are. So, or if you're able to relate it to yourself, what might you lose that you have now if you were to have your desires? Sometimes it'll be relationships with your friends and family who don't agree with you going after this thing for whatever reason, or you perceive that they may not agree, which might be a completely made up version of them in your head. You don't know until you try. But also, especially when it comes to like friendships and, I don't know, work relationships and such, if you're going for what you most deeply desire, what is most on your heart, and these people around you aren't supporting that, aren't cheering you on, aren't excited for you, are these really the people you want around in your life? Are they really the people in your corner? It don't sound like they're showing up like that. And it doesn't mean they couldn't come back around and realise it, but sometimes you kind of have to have the success for someone to realise what you were on about, this thing that you keep going for and they couldn't quite understand, or they thought it was unsafe or delusional or whatever. So yeah, it's good to notice who comes up in your head when you think of really going for this thing. Like, who stands up as in your way? And it might just be your mind's version of this person. And if you spoke to the actual person, you might get a completely different reaction. We're meaning-making machines. You might have just made up a meaning from a past version of that person, something they said 12 years ago, that just lives rent-free in your brain. You don't realise it's been that long, and that they've actually changed as a person, and they would actually support you wholeheartedly now, Like, there's just so much nuance to how we perceive the world, but also how others perceive the world, and how we perceive and they perceive and everyone perceives the world over time. And things are always shifting and changing, and it could be a seemingly small nuance that shifts enough, to, create kind of like the butterfly effect, where, a butterfly flaps its wings in one side of the world and causes a tsunami on the other side. That kind of cause and effect. So, yeah, like what do you want to go for? Can you admit it to yourself if you haven't been? And if you have been, but you've just been struggling because you keep saying this is what you want and keep consistently sabotaging yourself, well, there's there's things to look at there. What if you took the time to just look at, well, what's in the dark there? What's in the shadows? Like, we don't need to be scared of the shadows. They've got things to teach us. We can hold boundaries with what's in the dark areas, but really it's about looking at the dark areas in your life, the shadows, in order to bring light to them. You're just unfolding that light and unfolding that light. And the more that you look at what your shadows are and what's going on for you deeply at a core level, I mean, you're to a point that maybe even your best mates, as much as you might try and share as much as possible with them, and you do maybe share a lot and you don't feel like you're keeping secrets, there's still so much nuance in your perspective, in your lived experience of how you perceive something as a block or in your way, or how it just is in your way. There's so much nuance to it that they couldn't possibly know the exact reasons you choose to show up in certain ways with when you're going towards your desires and you feel those subconscious blocks come up, that self-sabotage. And well, hopefully you're learning to consciously feel it when you feel triggered, because that is actually such an invitation for us to see that there's a huge block there. And if we can actually unfold the darkness into light, that's when we get to move forward. It might be really uncomfortable at first, but what if you leaned into this discomfort, you leaned into, I mean, maybe sometimes you're even leaning into a breakdown energy, because you don't get a breakthrough unless you have a breakdown frequently. Not always. Sometimes we'll be good, we'll jump ahead and we'll do extra credit and we'll get our breakthrough before we've had a breakdown. But those really quite fast, potent breakthroughs usually happen right after a big juicy breakdown. So yeah, I thankfully learnt that a long time ago in my first personal development course, and now I kind of love just going full steam ahead towards the breakdowns to get through the breakthroughs faster. It doesn't always, I can't always use that language around it, and I'm sure there's areas in my life where people around me would beg to differ, where I've stayed stuck for a long time. But I know consciously, if I'm choosing to go for something, like really go for it, there's gonna be like mistakes made and breakdowns on the way, multiple, but also like that's what teaches you, that's what you learn from, that makes you stronger. I know we don't really want to be resilient in this day and age, but it's still a good skill to have. I mean, we do want to be resilient, but like we don't want to have to be resilient, it would just be nice if things were easy. But then when things are harder, and then you come out the other side and you've looked at your shadows, you've unfolded the light, you've healed those blocks, you've dissolved those blocks. How incredible is that going to feel to be living in that reality of that desire? And I also want you to notice whatever it is that you desire. This is really key, and this is how we help bypass and kind of quantum jump into our desires faster, is how do you want it to make you feel once you're in the reality of this desire? How do you want it to make you feel? Like, what's the feeling? Because really, at the end of the day, we're all just chasing the feeling. So what feeling are you chasing? What do you think this desire is going to get you? And also, just notice, like, does that actually align? Like, is this thing that I'm chasing after, that I desire, is it actually going to bring me that feeling that I want consistently for a while, or will it be a fleeting moment of having that feeling, and then I'll be chasing the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing? You know, it's all good to notice. We are the best person in our own life. And if we're not showing up like it, well, I invite you to. The more we can show up for ourselves, the more that we'll have space and capacity to show up for the world from a healed, heartfelt place. We can heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the whole damn human race. Yeah, been having a MJ resurgence lately. Some great songs by Michael Jackson, and some beautiful songs about humanity, let's be honest. Man in the Mirror. I'm starting with the Man in the Mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Earth song. They don't care about us. I mean, that's becoming apparent. And if anyone... Look, I haven't watched the Finding Neverland documentary. I looked away, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm hearing through recent unfoldings in the news that was potentially a frame job. The whole all the accusations against Michael Jackson, and that he was actually protecting the children in this horrible ring that Jeffrey Epstein had. And if that's true, and you listen to his music, you just hear the powerful songs he wrote. They don't care about us. It just, to me, that feels like somebody that wrote and sung those songs with such passion. I just want to believe that they were acting in the best and highest for those children and not doing anything insidious. And wouldn't, if you know you're one of the evil overlords of that horrible ring, perhaps like doesn't seem that far-fetched now you've read some of the Epstein files, that they would frame him because he was fighting against them. And they didn't like that. No, they've got to be the all-powerful, insidious, evil overlords, apparently. So, anyway, that's my little side note. Completely derailed my chat there, but yeah, I am loving, re-embracing Michael Jackson and his incredible music. It is powerful stuff, and we get to show up for the good people in the world, starting with ourselves. Yeah. Again, I came on here, I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to talk about, but I just let it flow. And I hope something may have enlightened you or given you something to consider for yourself, or maybe even gave you a moment of like, oh my god, I do that, and I have found it really scary to look at. But what if it wasn't me? What if I can look at it through that lens? If it's someone I love, well, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help them. But also, like, what if I just put on my Alice in Wonderland vibe and just got curious, you know, and just looked at something I've been scared to look at and just considered the options without it being a big serious thing that I've got to decide this thing, or XYZ is going to happen and dun dun dun, it's so dramatic. And you know, like, what if you could just be curious and play with the ideas of what could happen? I mean, you're only going to know what could happen if you actually go for it, you know? So are you going to go for it? Are you going to go for what you want in life? Can you please go for it? Can you go for it? And then, like, hit me up in the comments if you go for it. And, like, whether it goes well at first or it takes a little while, like, tell them the mistakes you deliciously made in order to show up and give it a go and, like, learn what's in your way, what your blocks are, how scary they feel to your system that you like made a mistake, and then but you still continue to like push through the discomfort to continue making mistakes on the way to feeling comfortable enough that you could dissolve those blocks and just come out to your desired reality. I mean, life's not long. Just go for it. Can we just go for it? Please. Please, friend, go for it. Okay, much love. I will see you tomorrow.